Wow, that was a weird time to cut. It's almost like this battle took a long time. Like too long. Like excessively long. Like this sentence long. I didn't want like a 30+ minute episode. Also, I was getting tired. I don't know if you can tell. Probably can't. Although I try to keep somewhat of a level to my commentary. There are people who are going to go out there and get all excited and be super emotional, hyperbolically emotional. That's not my game. It's not me as a person. So I don't think that would play well. I mean, I could fake it. Be like, oh, that's so cool and energetic and hyper and... Nah. I think you could tell it's fake. At least I hope you could tell it's fake. If you can't, you're just dumb. And I think there is a space on the internet for more chill commentary. I mean, Twitch does a whole chill thing. It's like called just chatting or something, and most of those streamers are just chilling. They're just hanging out, just talking to people. So there's an audience for that. Certainly. There has to be. So there should be for Let's Plays as well, as far as I'm concerned. And that's what I'm going for. I don't want to do anything that's fake. I did think about making a more arrogant character, and I still may do that for the videos. I haven't decided yet, like the non-Let's Play videos. But for these, this is just me playing a video game, guys. And I think that's fun and fine. And if it upsets you, then it upsets you. It shouldn't. But such is life. This is a long mission. It's the first really long mission of the game. I mean, this is the first 30+ minute mission, I guess. And I think part of it is just how many characters you have to keep up with. This is the first time you get a full roster, I believe. We've got, what, 10? I don't think it gets higher than that. Maybe it does. And we've got a big map to traverse. We had some mountains we had to get through, which takes up turns. Also, the horses can't come through that way, it turns out. Because there's a mountain. And I kind of forgot that that exists. Oops. Oh well, that's fine. Their fire does nothing to me. Also, especially if it misses. Yeah, I kind of thought I could just take my horse down there, but turns out you can't. Oh, everyone else will get there eventually. This horse we can, though. We can even visit a village. Is this one going to give us anything? Elwood. I wonder who that is. Also, who are you? Strange. That seemed to have no context. I'm going to give you that context, though. That fellow, whose name escapes me at the moment, is the character you play on the third story of this game. He's the third main hero, I guess. Elwood is the next one. Unless I'm mistaken. I think that's the order. Pretty sure that's the order. Elwood looks like Roy from the hit game Super Smash Bros. Melee. I think they're related by blood. I think one of them is the other's father or grandfather or something. I don't know the lore. I don't care enough to know the lore. But they're related in some aspects. And when we see Elwood, which we do a couple of times in this campaign, you'll see what I mean. He looks a lot like Roy. To the point that I thought maybe Ellawood was like a code name, or like Roy's last name or something. Like, it's remarkable. These guys are very bad at hitting me. They've had decent chances too. Like, that was a 63% chance to hit, and it just didn't. That's okay with me. Get all our guys here pretty soon. And then we can just kill pretty much everyone with my horse guys. Well, the one that's here. I guess two. Well, is a Pegasus a horse? I would assume not, because it's a Pegasus. But I don't know how these things go. Maybe it's a breed of horse. It's a horse with wings. Does that not count? Are unicorns horses? Or are they their own separate thing too? I assume they are. I assume they're their own separate thing. But I don't know for sure. These are the questions that keep me up at night. Now, are they related closely enough that you could breed a horse with a Pegasus or with a unicorn? What would you get out of it? They've got to be, right? Because in real life, like, you can breed a tiger and a lion. I believe. I think that's been done. Like, a liger is a real thing. Unless I've just been the victim of a hoax. Which is also possible. I'm a pretty gullible person overall, and the internet hasn't helped that. Mostly because the internet is just full of lies. But I was always the one in school and whatnot to, like, fall for people saying a thing, because I guess I'm just too trustworthy of what people say. So inherently I was just like, well, that has to be true. Why would someone go do that? Why would someone tell a lie? So that was me. I'm still kind of like that. I've gotten a little bit more jaded because of the internet. But overall, yeah, I would still believe that. So if that is untrue, I apologize, but I'm pretty sure we've got, like, real-life ligers. So if you can breed a tiger and a lion, let's just assume that's true. Even if it's not, let's just assume so. Because I want it to be true. You gotta assume that Pegasus and unicorns and horses, even if they're not technically related, they've got to be genetically close enough, right? I have to assume that anyway. What would you get out of it, though? Like, a Pegasus is just a flying horse. A unicorn is just a horse with a horn. Could you get a flying unicorn? I need someone who studied biology to tell me. Someone who actually knows stuff. I was not a good science student. I was not a good math student either. I think I mentioned this maybe during the Typing of the Dead or maybe during the Super Monkey Ball finale. It's one of the two, I think. That I had a lot of problems memory-wise. And math is one that you kind of need to know. You kind of need to remember stuff for math. I also missed a lot of school, so you kind of also need that, like the building blocks. Math just kind of builds upon itself year to year. If you don't have that, you're hooped. And I was like that. But I was kind of like that with science too. The only science I did up to a grade 12 level, senior level I guess for my American friends, was biology actually. But I was more interested in not the, like, genetic molecular level, more like the environmental stuffs. So, like, how populations, not how, like, the intimacies work in the populations, but, like, the overall sphere, I guess. It's probably the wrong word. Now I can't think of the word. It's been a while. High school was a long time ago. I didn't take any science courses like that in university. I took one computer science course because I needed to take a science course for my major, which was in film studies. And the only one that I thought I'd do well in was computer science. Turns out I didn't do too well in that either. But compared to how I could have done, it wasn't that bad. So, I'll tell a story. I was a bad university student. I didn't like it, so I didn't go a whole lot. And for computer science, I went to the lectures most of the time. But I didn't go to the tutorials. And it turns out a whole chunk of your mark came from the tutorials, like all but the final. So I didn't know that. I thought tutorials were like something that you did to bolster what you learned in lectures. Turns out the tutorials for this computer science course were learning 3 programs that I'd never before used. Oopsie. And you had to like make a project on each of them. So I went into the final with a 0%. Now I don't know how much you know about school, but that's pretty low. Now the test was open book, and I'd gone to most of the lectures. The lectures were actually, they were taught by the person who wrote the textbook. He basically sold us his textbook in order for us to pass the course. University's dumb. At least in many respects, like that one. So I went into the final, this open book final, with a 0. To pass the course, you only needed a 40. And the final was worth 45%, I think, of your final grade. Might have even been 50. And it was a low bar to pass. To pass the course, you only needed a 40 to get a D. I was like, okay, well, shoot, this is bad. I wound up, after the final, finishing the course with a 42. Now that was a dumb decision. It wasn't how one should do school. But it's how I did school. It's how I did that course anyway. So don't do that, kids. Stay in school and like actually take it seriously. I regret not taking it more seriously. Could have learned something. Back to the video game. We rescued the girl, and also there's Ellawood, who, like I said, looks a lot like Roy. Again, to the point that I thought he was Roy. He's not. He's a different dude. And he is the protagonist. He is in the Lynn role of the next story. And the blue-haired dude we met in that one village is the protagonist of the 3rd story, which from what I understand, I haven't played it yet, is the same story as Ellawood's, just from a different perspective. So like this is the prologue, and then you get these other 2 dudes who basically go down the same path, but you tell it from different perspectives. And I guess the missions change a little bit. They get harder with the 3rd dude's story. I guess there's like different enemies or whatever. I don't know if I'm going to wind up playing that. I feel like once we get past Ellawood's story, that'll be enough when I get back to this game. I don't think we need to go through the same story twice. I feel like that would be redundant. And the game's technically considered beaten once you beat Ellawood's story. The other one's kind of like a bonus. The Falsebound Kingdom Joey Wheeler story. And if you got that reference, good job you. Because I have not yet played that on the channel, so you don't know what I'm talking about. That's going to be another one that when I eventually play it, I'll break it up into sections. I'll do the Yugi story first. And then I'll wait like a month or two and then do the Kaiba story. Then if I'm still feeling it, I'll do the Joey one. The Joey one's shorter. The Joey one's only like 10. I think it's like half. I think it's like 10 compared to 20. Or 11 compared to 22 missions. Something like that. That's going to be a fun game to play. That one I'll probably do live as well. Mostly because it doesn't require... The games that I don't want to do live are more the ones that are... One, that I'll have to edit a lot. That have a lot of deaths. And B, the ones that are more action heavy. That I can't plan out. Because I am not good at talking and playing action games. Especially not good at commentary with action games. Like Devil May Cry would have been a disaster. It already wasn't great because I didn't have a good microphone. Especially for the first 5 episodes. I think anyone who watched the first episode is like, no, 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 this is bad. I'm not doing this. Which, fair. Honestly, fair. So if and when I do Devil May Cry 2, hopefully that does better. Anyway, we saved the girl, but the bandit stole her ring. And it's a special ring. And we're going to get a choice. We get our first, and only for Lynn's story, side quest. And for the first time in the game, we get an option. We can either get the ring back, or not get the ring back. Should we do it? I don't know. Will it help us? Probably not. It'll let us level some people up, though. Side quests are very difficult. Oops. Keep the save data from before just in case you suck. I am in a hurry to pursue the main story. Yeah, let's do it. We'll probably... I mean, if the ring is that valuable, we should get it back. I don't know what it'll do for us. I actually don't know if it does anything for us in this story. But we get to level some people up, so we'll do that next time. And it'll be fun.